The vibrant community of Richmond, located in southwest inner-city Calgary, was amalgamated to the city by 1910, with rapid suburban development starting during the 1950s. Strategic planning of the neighborhood has evolved through the 1979 Inner-City Plan to the Richmond Area Redevelopment Plan today. The community population consists of 4,500 residents, over 2,000 occupied dwellings. An aging population and an increasing demand of housing will be the most significant problems facing the community in the next 50 years. Schools are one of the most important assets, consisting of Rundle College Primary, Richmond Elementary, and Chinook Learning Services, located around the geographic center of the community. Sites for potential brownfield redevelopment are the former Viscount Bennett High School, the Federal Naval Base, and the former Alberta Children's Hospital. Underutilized space also exists along the major roads of Crowchild Trail and 26th Avenue Southwest. This survey of the community is through 4 different transportation modes. All routes terminate at the community center, an essential physical and social landmark of the community.
The only high-rise building in the neighborhood is the Castle Condominiums, located at the corner of 17th Avenue and 24th Street Southwest. It is a 9-story condo tower with 56 multifamily units with amenities such as an organic market and cafe on the first floor.
This is a bungalow-style home and is an example of the type of housing that is original to the neighborhood of Richmond, Nob Hill. It is common for these homes to be sold to developers who then replace the bungalow with either a duplex or single-family home. Older bungalows are being sold from anywhere between $450,000 to $650,000, and bungalows that have been renovated are being sold for as high as $850,000.
The types of housing form in the community of Richmond is a small number of mid-rise apartment buildings located along the periphery and adjacent to Viscount Bennett. The rental average is approximately $1,200 a month for a 1-bedroom rental.
This house is a great example of an infill development common in the Richmond Nob Hill community. This particular unit is a duplex occupying the entire 50-foot lot. However, it's common to see detached infill developments splitting traditional lots into 2 25-foot parcels. The infills in Richmond Nob Hill tend to be on the higher end of the price spectrum due to their location close to downtown, with an average price of around $900,000.
Right across from Castle Development is the completely fenced-off Naval Reserve. This reserve takes up a large area of land but only has limited use as of now. The only public use for it is the Naval Museum, and having such place makes the residents wonder if the reserve can be modified for a better public use or other opportunities that would promote people's quality of life. Despite that, it will be closer walking along Crowchild Trail when trying to get to the community center from Castle. The noises coming from such neighboring highway are very unpleasant to bear. Although the residential areas are blocked from Crowchild, the high walls could not block its noises. By changing the route to 25th Street, the walk just became a lot more enjoyable because of the green spaces along the way and gives people a sense of security as well. Moreover, when walking in the neighborhood, often there are redevelopments going on and we can see the changes over time. How these infill homes are making the community livelier, but also it takes away part of the old neighborhood too, although we know it will happen sooner or later. Another issue is the traffic speed at the intersections where major roads meet the community streets. When walking from 25th Street and entering 26th Ave Bridge, it appears that pedestrians are easily ignored by the rapid traffic because of the infill developments. There are a lot of trucks traveling within the neighborhood and they are often at high speed and takes longer time to stop at intersections. This issue may seem minor but can have potential danger and cause unnecessary safety problems for the residents as well.
On the east side of Crowchild Trail lies the Old Children's Hospital, which is currently called the Richmond Road Diagnostic and Treatment Center. The center has a variety of uses, such as audiology services, eating disorder programs, diabetes services, and various child and adolescent programs, to only name a few. The southbound Crowchild Trail and 17th Avenue bus stop is located under 17th Avenue Bridge along Crowchild Trail. This stop is not accessible to those in wheelchairs or people who lack mobility because the only way to reach this stop is by the stairs coming down from 17th Avenue. Another negative of this bus stop is the proximity of the cars driving along Crowchild Trail to the transit passengers waiting for the bus. Noise is another problem. It is extremely loud due to the variety of cars passing by at high speeds. There are also various blind spots surrounding this stop, which could cause transit users to be hesitant about using it during the evenings and at night. The 24th Street commercial area can be seen going both north and southbound on Crowchild Trail, but there is no direct access in and out from Crowchild Trail itself. There is, however, a bus stop along Crowchild Trail across from the commercial area going northbound, which allows northbound transit users to have convenient access to the 24th Street commercial area. The southbound Crowchild Trail and 26th Avenue bus stop is identical to that of the 17th Avenue bus stop and where it is located under a bridge. One difference is that there are multiple ways to and from this stop. There are staircases on either side of 26th Avenue Bridge and a sidewalk coming in from Richmond Road by Viscount Bennett. All of the same negatives are apparent here as were present at the 17th Avenue bus stop, such as noise from passing cars, proximity of cars, and various blind spots. The transit system in Richmond Nob Hill is fairly good. Bus routes are evenly distributed north and south throughout the community, and they are located along major roads. There are multiple bus routes on Crowchild Trail which run through the middle of the community, allowing transit access to the households located at the center of Richmond Nob Hill. Some drawbacks to the transit system is that there are a variety of dead zones around the east and west ends of the community, and the bus stops along Crowchild Trail are difficult to access and have the possibility of being perceived as unsafe.
Connectivity in the community through cycling is enhanced through the grid system layout and quiet interior streets. The connection of the interior streets to the community is established by 26th Avenue, which, although contains the same speed limit, does have a higher volume of traffic. The intersection of the two major interior roads of the community is forced and lacks easy connection to the community center. This area has a lot of opportunity but needs more accessible pathways. The east side boundary of 26th Avenue hosts a commercial node. The number of small locally owned businesses, such as in this area, are an important asset to the community and must be maintained to establish and enhance placemaking and help anchor activity within the community, as well as increase pedestrian interaction and travel. This is especially important because of the amount of commercial activity that is in proximity to the neighborhood but requires driving or long commute by public transportation, such as Westbrook Mall or West Hills Shopping Center. There are 4 main parks in the neighborhood: 26th Avenue, 30th Avenue, 26th Avenue, 20th Avenue, each highlighted with playground, bird feeders, and park benches. Another highly valuable asset in the community of Richmond is the number of mature trees through these green spaces and private lots. As infill development continues, private lots lose a large percentage of land dedicated to green space and the capacity to maintain this tree size.
33rd Avenue is the southern boundary of the Richmond Nob Hill community and is also one of the major commercial areas that can be found within it. The Martel Loop Commercial District contains various commercial spaces positioned to serve Richmond Nob Hill as well as other surrounding communities. It contains many smaller restaurants, pubs, coffee shops, banks, drug and convenience stores. Crowchild Trail, a major north-south connector road for the city, separates the Richmond Nob Hill community in two, restricting access into the community to either 33rd Avenue or Richmond Road. For residents to access their entire community, they must cross over Crowchild Trail on either 26th Avenue or 33rd Avenue. On the left side of Crowchild Trail, the old Viscount Bennett School can be seen. In its current form, it serves as a high school upgrading and post-secondary institution. It originally operated as a high school starting in the 1950s, but was eventually transformed to house Chinook Learning Services, which is operating there today. The building is falling into disrepair, but represents a great opportunity for redevelopment.
The community center is located along 26th Avenue and is adjacent to Crowchild Trail. It plays host to many community events, such as community visioning, church on Sundays, and other activities to bring the community together. The community center also has a skating rink, community flower gardens, and a fireplace for visitors to use. The community center should be an emphasis within the neighborhood as it is a valuable resource for bringing the neighborhood together. Richmond Nob Hill is an area that has a few liabilities that it needs to overcome. Crowchild Trail is the main obstacle within the community. It creates a divide through the middle of the neighborhood. This barrier makes passage through the neighborhood extremely difficult as there are only 3 routes for both pedestrian and vehicular traffic. The introduction of Crowchild Trail through the neighborhood also ended several roads that would have been continuous, forcing them into cul-de-sac. A small commercial area that runs adjacent to Crowchild Trail has zero access from the freeway itself. Patrons that are wanting to use these services must enter off of 33rd or 17th Avenue, which causes a major inconvenience and more traffic through the residential area. The bisection of Richmond Nob Hill by Crowchild has not only segmented the neighborhoods but has also turned into a central focus for the bus route. The focus around Crowchild Trail has taken away from public transportation routes throughout the neighborhood. Much of the neighborhood is not located within the 400 meters that is generally thought as a walkable distance. With Crowchild Trail being the road of the major bus route through the neighborhood, all stops are located in precarious locations that are loud, poorly lit, and dangerous for the patrons of the bus. The city of Calgary is calling for a doubling of its population within its inner city neighborhoods. In order to do this, neighborhoods like Richmond need to increase density. Currently, R1 or single-family homes are the most popular housing option in the area. The trend that has currently taken over the neighborhood is to split 50-foot lots into 2 homes. Although it is an increasing number of units in the given area, the density is not. This is mainly due to the fact that these homes are being occupied by fairly small families or empty nesters. This leads to the topic of gentrification within the area. The housing and rental prices within Richmond are very high. This is limiting the people who can afford to live in these areas. By having an expensive market, it will be hard to increase density as it limits the population that will be able to afford living in Richmond.